The second one was also just different things I've been thinking about in myself and my own personal journey. You know, just this idea that so many people, self included, don't necessarily feel like they have a voice or a place in the world, or that they matter, or that their voice matters, or that they bring value to our world. Like if you were not here, the world would be very different. And I remember having those feelings of having so much to say, but not having an opportunity. And that's probably why I talk so much now. Not having an opportunity or a place where you feel like you can be authentically you and not be judged and not be misunderstood and not care about either. You know, not caring about being judged or misunderstood. At least to the extent that it cripples you from speaking at all.
Right.
And I think for me, why this is a challenge is because I have so many fears and doubts and insecurities about myself, you know, my actual voice. Like I'm talking about the sound of my voice. And then there's that, well, you know, does it actually matter? Is it actually important? Is what I have to say valid?
Right.
And I do thank God for the journey. I wish I could kind of just like lay all of it out, but it's still a process. It's still a road that I'm walking. But God has given me this amazing gift of now being able to understand and be free to
explore that journey
and share those things. I've never been a hider necessarily. Like if someone talks to me or has a conversation with me, then I can, you know, I'd express myself and let them know how I feel. But there's always that, what are they going to do with this? You know, did I say the right thing? Maybe I said the wrong thing. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should. Well, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. Maybe I should have said it differently. Maybe they really didn't want to hear what I had to say. I just was just talking on and on and on for no reason. Like all of those different things come into your mind. And slowly but surely, the Lord is just showing me, you know what? The only voice that really matters is mine, is His, and so I am step by step. And I think the Jordan's Create, at least for me, is helping me to do that because it's forcing me to do that because this is God's vision. And no matter what anyone really says, our goal is really to just bring people into our world and everything that involves. That's our faith, our music,
our thoughts, our experiences
in an honest way, and hopefully encourage folks to get out there and do what God's calling them to do and be real about it. We have not arrived. We're what are we riding in?
More than I feel like a ride, I feel like we're trying to get back onto it sometimes. Just get back onto the train.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's a journey. I know it is tough for me to even talk about this right now, but at the same time, it's not tough because I have a voice and I understand that voice matters. And I don't mean it at all in a prideful way, but in a liberating way.
Right. I think that there's so much of societal pressure just to, I mean, even talking about it on a level of consumers and producers, right? It's driven so much to consume and to scoop up and to get this and to have that there's really no relevance for your voice, because your voice is really just to echo the things that they're trying to get you to buy into. Just in society at large, it's not about producing something that's a benefit to society that moves it forward, right? It's your job to get something from society where society will validate you. It's not really about your voice at all unless your voice is echoing that thought that's already there.
Pushing that agenda.
Yeah.
You said something validating affirmation. I think for me, this is something the Lord, again, it's just like you do not need anyone to put this in. That's for somebody that you don't need anyone to put that seal of approval on you.
Right.
You don't need it. You don't need anyone's validation, anyone's affirmation if you are walking with the Lord. And yes, as we specifically say with the Lord because we're believers, and that is what God guides everything that we do. Even if we don't do it.
Especially when we don't do it. Thank God. Thank God.
There's still that voice that goes,
Yeah.
I know you hear me. You better do it. Getting married at 21, which was God's plan for my life, because it certainly was not my plan.
Well, it was my plan. Thank God for the plan.
That was your plan?
Getting married to you, yeah.
Okay. Well, my plan was not to be married at 21 years of age. But being in college and already coming off of this phase of life where I was just confused and suicidal and depressed and all of that, and not even fully understanding God's plan for me, and then going through all of that as a married and then mom of 1, 2, 3, 4. All of that on the journey, I don't have any regrets. Like I was saying, the world makes it seem like you have to be XYZ by XYZ amount of time. And I'm grateful for the time, actually, because I know myself a lot better now than I ever did. And I recognize the power of a person's voice for the good and for the bad.
Yeah.
I think we know for the most part, but it's a different experience when you feel like you've never had it. And I'm not talking about a sound of a voice. I'm talking about being authentically you, unapologetically.
And having the room to express that.
You.
And having the freedom to take up that room.
Right.
And express that, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think we have to get to that point too where we realize that our identity is something that is given, right? It's not something, as much as we may try and live out that mode a lot of times, it's not something that we can create for ourselves. Our identity is something that we can express, but it's not something that we can generate. And so it's either going to come from all of these external pressures that, the messages that you get from society at large, or it's going to come from the person who created you, God. But you can't create your own identity. You can search and find what lines up, but it's not on you to generate your identity. It is on us to express that, and that's what the Jordan's Creed is about. And I think self-acceptance really just comes to getting to that point where you're like, okay, this is who I am, this is what I'm built for, this is what I'm made for, let me go see what I can do with this. But we can't do that if we spend all of our time trying to create it for ourselves. We don't create our own passions, we don't create our own bents, we don't create our own
it's kind of innate, it's already within
right.
us.
And it comes, even on a natural level, it comes from all of these other generations of experiences that have brought us to this point. So we're not always, as much as the world says it, we don't create this moment, right? This moment has been created. We are created. We can express ourselves in this moment. And I think we should always move to do that. But I think we'll always wind up chasing ourselves in circles if we're trying to create our own identity as opposed to accepting the identity that we've been created for.
That's all it was. We're tired, and so if you look tired, it's because we are tired. I will not tell you what time this is that we are doing this, but I will just say the kids are asleep, and one of them is currently on the couch next to us.
And I think
sleeping.
we're both a little jealous of that fact right now. So
yeah, we're tired, but we are grateful, and grateful that people were watching, and grateful people are giving their feedback, and ultimately our goal is that you're encouraged and that you're inspired as we share our story, as we share our art and creativity, that you're inspired to go and create whatever it is that God has inspired and called you to do. And if you don't know what it is yet, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's honestly okay.
Yeah.
Don't let society confuse you or make you think that you need to be a particular place at a particular time in your life.
Take the time to explore. Take the time to explore.
It's not true. And you can get out there and just try different things, and God will show you. It's not going to be, if you're looking, He'll show you. If you're looking for Him, number one, and then those little nudges, like, you know, something pops up on your Facebook and you're like, this is interesting. Maybe I'll go. Go. There's so many times where, you know, I come across an event and I'm like, and Tyler's there. He's like, I complain. I'm like, I do not want to go to this. I don't feel like leaving my house. I don't want to be there. I don't want to get in my car, and I don't want to drive anywhere.
Right.
And that, going to that place, going to that event, meeting those people were life-changing moments for me.
Right.
And for the people who I was with, it was an experience for both. Right?
And just to paint the broad picture is, it doesn't always work out like that. Mm-hmm. Even when it happens in the negative, it still works out to you. Because if you go to something, you're like, oh, I totally did not like that. You start to realize all of these reasons why. That still clarifies what your mold is. Mm-hmm. You know, if you go to something that just does not line up with the way you think, the people you hang with, you know, the things you want to do, that actually does help clarify everything that it negates.
Even more,
if that makes sense. I hope I didn't.
No, that totally makes sense. It could have been an overall good experience, but then one thing could have like been a little bit off, and now you know, okay, if I was doing this,
right,
this is what I would have done differently. So
and there's that room for self-expression and exploration.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. For now.
Until the next
time.
Yeah.
So, you guys, you know, feel free to give us your feedback. You know, if you tell me to wear makeup, it's probably gonna be a no, because anybody got time for that.
You already know what happens if you tell me to wear makeup. So straight up.
No. It's honestly, seriously though. Any feedback, if it's encouraging to you, if you're tired of seeing our faces,
just unsubscribe.
No.
But if you like seeing it, subscribe. And tell somebody else you like seeing it. And tell them to subscribe.
Share it, like it.
Do it.
You know, ask questions, whatever. And then really go and do you. Let the good Lord lead you. And just be encouraged. Don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged, but keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. All right? Much love.
Adieu.